Hello, everyone. I see that my model is laggy. Okay, I gotta... Let's see if this helps. This... No? Okay. Let's try this. Nope. It was moving earlier, just so you know. What does this do? I'm going to close out the program and open it again. Okay, that's better. Yeah, that usually does the trick. I'm gonna reset my tracking. Ta-da! Okay. It's always funny that... Oh, hey Lily! Just in time, just in time. I was resetting my tracking. So, we can hop over to my other scene. Boop. Hi. Oh, let's see if chat works. Hello, chat. It should come up, like in the corner. How's my CSS doing? Refresh. Test. Oh, oops, there we go. Ha! I didn't know that would happen. I was moving my window from one monitor to the other and it did something silly. Now chat's not coming up. The thing is, I can't test if chat works until I go live, because then I can like start feeding chat into the stream. As you know, today we're having a Munch with a Bunch segment. I still have yet to come up with a thumbnail that represents Munch with a Bunch. When I made a bunch of the other thumbnails and scenes, I had done that on my tablet, so to make it... Oh, is the chat glitch? No, it always like just takes a second. So, it's up now. Yay. For some reason, it like takes a minute. I don't know why. Okay, I'm gonna test how long it takes from my internet to go through. Oh, okay, so that's like instant on my end. Wait, can you... So, something I was doing right before stream was that I was getting the Ethernet set up in my room, so I actually have some really crazy internet right now. Bless you, thank you. Sorry if this sneeze is loud. Let me screenshot my internet. It's like holy moly levels of speed now. Image. It's about 7 seconds. Yeah, so I think that has something to do with how I could finally set up... Oh, hello. Ooh. Trying to open up some... It was literally because I finally got my internet to be the speed that I want it to be. So, boom. Do you see this? These are insane levels of... Like... Yeah, let me remove that. Okay, I literally just doxed where I'm from, but... So... I mean, it doesn't even matter that much, honestly. Of like, y'all already know I'm in California, so yeah. So because my internet speeds are like fast, my upload download is like insane levels of speed. Like for reference, my just Wi-Fi connection is 100 down, 200 up, which is like okay, but it's not super fast. So now that I have like 1,000 up, 1,000 down, well, close. Sometimes it's higher in the day, sometimes it's lower. Right now it's 900, 900, which is still really good. That's more than a lot of people. So I'm glad you came to the stream. I'm wondering if you're eating anything or just doing homework, or what are you up to right now? Oh, I have to make this a little boop. Trying to make it the right size. There we go. I can never get that to be a consistent size, so... But really, it doesn't matter. It's just in the corner. Oh! Something I noticed. Even though I'm on, like, a quote-unquote copyright-free playlist on Spotify, I still got copyrighted on one of my videos. I don't really care that much. But I changed the copyright-free playlist today, and hopefully that one doesn't contain any copyright music in it. You're working on some stuff? You added to your to-do this week. Yeah. I don't know how long I plan to be on. It's 2 o'clock now. 2:22. And later I think I have to leave the house at 7. So I have to like take a shower and stuff before I leave the house. So I'll give myself like an hour before 7 to be ready and dressed. So latest, I get off at 6. I need to 1, finish my food, and 2, get off before 6. My time. Which gives me 3 hours and like 40 minutes. Today I'm eating bante. Normally I like to eat bante jian, but today I'm just eating bante. So the non-fried version. And then second, I have a bowl of porridge. It was hot 30 minutes ago. But as I sat down to set up my internet and set up stream and start, that the bowl of porridge is not hot anymore like it was. If you see me looking down, it's literally I'm looking at the bowl of food that I have. Oh, so my parents told me there's something important this weekend, and it's not a Valentine's Day related thing, but it's a family related thing. I'm gonna be busy tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Wait, what day is today? Today's Thursday. Okay, so I'm gonna be busy. Oh, no, I won't be busy Friday, I think. I might add an extra stream Friday. I don't know what I'm gonna stream yet. Maybe I'm gonna grind penguins. Let's see. So, I'm gonna be busy Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I will not be streaming on those days. I'm gonna be out of the house, and there's just no way I can manage having stream. Friday, let's just tentatively say I'm gonna add this to my schedule. I can do it right now. So, let me open a second YouTube tab. Go into my channel, go to posts. We gotta add another edit. Copy this, Control C, Control V. 2 o'clock. Fast Penguin. Save. Okay, so on my schedule, you can see that I will be having a stream tomorrow and we'll be playing Fast Penguin. 2 o'clock, my time, which is 5 o'clock for you. So feel free to stop by, work on work, while I just mulch at penguins. I really do want to get better at the different maps that they added this season. I was having a decent amount of fun the day that I was playing the other time. Work for you? You only have lab on your Fridays? I remember lab. Oh my god. The last I remember when I was taking like my lab courses, they only had it on Friday. They were 4 hours long. And I had 2 of them back to back. So I had to wake up early enough because my class started at like 8 or something like that. And that means I need to get up early, eat breakfast, get to class at 8 in the morning. And then 8 to 9, 10, 11, 12. So at 12, when it's lunchtime, I only have 10 minutes before class starts at 12:10 to eat lunch because I won't be able to get out of class until like 4. I don't know which insane person in the department decided that the juniors of that year, I don't know if juniors every year of that major had to go through the same thing, but it's kind of awful that our 2 lab courses that are 4 hours long each are back to back. Like, they didn't even give us like a 1 hour gap or anything. Same thing for you. You took the lecture and lab for separate days. It's at like 12. So this one, I think lecture is on a different day, but lab is still 4 hours long. So I think there was like a, 1 hour lecture, 1.5 hour lecture on whatever other day. And then Friday was the day that we had lab for that lecture. And you only had one choice for lab. 4 hour lab, that's crazy, yeah. And I have 2 4-hour labs back to back. From like pretty much 8 to 12, 12 to 4. It was insane. It was kind of insane. Everyone was so hungry because some people wouldn't have time for breakfast. And then by the time it was lunch, they didn't have time for lunch. And I don't recommend starving yourself. So I would have at least like the day before meal prep something I can bring to campus and eat. Some people relied on the, I don't want to say mesh hall, but like the cafeteria on campus. We have multiple different cafeterias and restaurants and cafes. That there's a cafe within our college building that a lot of people go to, and that even if you had that the 10 minutes in between those 2 labs, it wasn't enough time to get food and eat it. And also, you can't eat in class because it was a computer lab. You can't bring food inside the computer lab. It was 2 computer labs. So again, you couldn't eat for first lab or second lab. Your lab is less than 2 hours, and the professor lets you go early. Yeah, if you finish the stuff. But for us, lab was so difficult most of the time. You had to stay the full 4 hours just because it was just complicated stuff. Nope, not having time to eat in between those times is wild. Yeah, exactly. We were all looking at our schedules. We're like, is this for real? Do we really have to do this? And there was no other option for us. If you were a junior in that major, then you had to take those classes during that semester to be on track to graduate. Sorry if the model track's weird when I drink water. If I had a straw, it would be less of an issue, but I'm like holding up the water jug, my little container, and it covers my face in front of the camera. Some people have the mic in front of them and it covers up their tracking, or it covers up stuff, or like this covers up their stuff. No, it's every time I drink out of the water bottle, it's like that. Audio should sound loud enough. Hopefully the background, I bumped up the background just a smidge. So right now it's, well, depending on if the song is loud or not, it's around between -40 and -50, because I try to average it out at -45. You sound clear. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I can see my mic is hitting like the -10 range, which if you've seen OBS, -10, -15 is where you want to be at for your audio and such. And I'm going to keep eating. Well, I finished my bante, and I have my porridge, my chicken porridge. It's barely lukewarm. The chicken in this porridge is particularly good today, and yesterday when I was eating it. So the chicken is separate that you just throw into the porridge. The porridge is made with parts of a boiled chicken and all these other things that you add to give it like a lot of flavor. But you don't put in the meat yet. You have the boiled chicken that's salted on the side. You shred off the meat before you cook the porridge with the rest of the chicken. And then that will flavor the soup, the porridge. Afterwards, when your porridge is done cooking, you add the chicken back in. You can throw all the chicken in, however, we like to just keep it on a separate plate and throw it in as necessary. You're over here just charging your tablet. This thing died on you, and charging takes a minute. I usually don't let any of my devices hit the battery level so low that it dies. I don't know how good that is for the device for it to reach like actually 0 and turn off. When I see that it's around 20, 30, like that, I usually have it plugged back in. Typically, I think it's better if when using your phone, it's not plugged in at the same time while you're using it. Like, if you were doing this the most optimal way to like extend your battery life, when you charge it at night, once it's full, you should unplug it. It doesn't matter if you use like 1, 2, 3% when you're falling asleep. You wake up, and yeah, you have 97% when you start the day. That's better than keeping your phone overcharged more than 100% through the whole night. You wanna know what's crazy? You had to die on the charge while using it. Yeah, it depends on what you're using. Oh. Two main things. Or 3, I guess. 1, is the battery super old? 2, is the power brick strong enough for your device? Because not all power bricks are the same. Newer ones today are better at charging for newer devices that consume more energy. And so if you use like a low quality one, it will charge slower than your rate of consumption. Then on top of that, whatever application you're running, if you keep the camera on the entire time, that one is one of the applications that consumes the most. And then there's like a bunch of other applications that use up your battery really fast. So let's say you had some really crazy applications open, your charging brick is not like powerful enough for your device, and you have a super old device where the battery has already worn down and loses efficiency. That is a surefire way for your device to die, even if it's on the charge. So if you notice it's a new device, it's probably not a battery issue. If you know you're not doing, it's old. 2021's not too super old. So my suspicion is you should look up the model of tablet you have. Look up the recommended like milliamps or what kind of wattage or something. I forget what it is. But there's like a number that is associated to how powerful the brick needs to be to sufficiently charge your device. And then you have to look at your brick on wherever they print the text. You should see like all the labels of the numbers and stuff. And then so you should check like, oh, is it too low or is it like strong enough? That it's like the manufacturer recommends that this is the standard amount that you should have for your device. Because back then, hopefully this is when they still had the dedicated brick that goes with the device itself. Like you bought it and it comes in the box. Back when they still had bricks, that's the one you're technically supposed to use. And say you lose that brick, you buy a replacement brick. Not all bricks are the same. You're like, oh, I need a replacement brick. Oh, I'm gonna get this cheap one. If you pay for a cheap brick, you get a cheap brick. It's the same with, you buy a bulk amount of cheap cables. Those cables will break on you. They will, like the wires might not be like a really good quality. And they'll like twist, and if you twist your cable too much. Here's the thing. I've never had an issue with destroying my cables. One, I take very good care of my cables. I do not over twist them and like damage and bend them too much. My dad, I swear to God, he always over twists them, and he's end up breaking more cables than I ever have. I have never once damaged a cable. Cause like for some reason, like my mom, you know, when she's using her cable and such, she, like, the part at the end of her little piece that goes into your phone, it's always like the rubber coating that's on the outside of the cable, it's always like torn up. I've never had that issue before. Like I'm good at like plugging it in, and it never gets to the point where it's so damaged it starts ripping apart. But if I lend out my cables to somebody, they return them broken. But I've been using them for years, they've never broken before. So I just think it's just insane to me how someone can like damage it so fast when I've taken so good care of my cables and I've never damaged them. Like they don't show signs of burning, and they don't show signs of tears. They've never broken internally either. So my mom has an issue where it rips at the end of where the little plug-in is. And my dad has an issue. Am I back? My internet dropped. Am I back now? I saw my internet go all the way to 0. It's back now. Yeah, I saw. The issue is that if I needed to message you that it dropped, I don't know if the message would actually send. So I literally saw the thing in OBS go from 6,000 like kilobytes per second to 0. That's never happened to me before. I do think that I need to go out and get a surge protector for my internet, Ethernet, Wi-Fi access point, whatever you call them. That's the thing that I installed today. However, I have never owned a surge protector before. I've never had a desktop where it felt necessary to have one. But my brother was telling me, like asking me like, oh hey, do you have a surge protector? I said no. He was like, oh. So I think I have to go buy one now. Maybe I might be able to find one at the other house. We'll see how it goes. Hello to everybody, welcome to the stream. We're having a Munch with the Bunch segment, which is really just me talking while eating and just talking with everybody who's here. So, thank you for joining the stream. You have a desktop, but you can't just use it right now. Or, yeah. The other day, when I was streaming, I had some tummy issues. I talked about that. Like, my stomach was kind of hurting, or like my lower abdomen area. I don't know necessarily what organs it's associated to. And when I had those issues, I was really scared about like, oh, do I have an infection? Because something similar happened before, that I got a colon infection because like 2 days prior I ate something bad, and it was likely that. It was like likely something about it was spoiled. I still ate it. I was like not fully in my right mind. If you think food has gone bad, probably just don't eat it. Probably just don't risk it. But anyway, I was eating some food recently, and it may have gone bad, it may not have gone bad. I wasn't sure, however, I still ate it. And that made me question, oh, why does like my lower abdomen area hurt? I remember last time it hurt in this area, that the first day, it doesn't feel too terrible. But then if it doesn't go away the next day, and if it gets worse, then you should definitely get like emergency help. Because I was looking up my Kaiser app, being all like, oh, maybe I should book an appointment with my doctor to go check it out. Like, it hasn't like gone away. If it like was there for a day and it went away the next day, I don't think there was an issue. If it persists on the second day, that's something. The first time that it had happened, it persisted, and then it got worse. And then like on the third day, it was really bad. I could hardly walk. The pain was just so incredibly bad. Like, if you've ever had period cramps, let's normalize about like, oh, hey, we could just talk about period cramps. It's not a weird thing. Like, everyone who's like half the population, they go through it. It's like completely normal. But it was worse than that pain. Because I've had like some pretty bad cramps where it's like, oh, really hard to walk and stuff. And even hard to like get up. Unless you like, it can help when you take your medicine, do some stretches, take your medicine, and wear like a heat pack or have something warm in that area to help loosen up the muscles, I guess. It just doesn't like freeze. I know that drinking ice water makes it like freeze up, and I get worse cramps. But if you drink like hot tea and you have a heat pack, stuff like that, it makes it feel like it's not as painful. So that's like some of my advice is you should definitely stretch. It will definitely help. There's like scientifically proven people who have guided stretches recovered the fastest and reported having less pain. People who did self-guided stretches reported having less pain but not as effective as when they were doing professionally guided exercises. Compared to people who did none of the stretching, they had the worst pain. So there was very strong evidence to suggest like you should stretch. If you are having that pain, do look up stretches online. You get cramps. They are torture, yes. So I highly recommend taking your Midol or some equivalent of the menstrual kind of medication that is specifically like pain relieving. Some include caffeine and stuff like that, because having my period makes me so sleepy too. Like the fatigue that you get. I don't know what kind of thing is contributing to the fatigue, but you'll literally just be so fatigued. Everyone has different symptoms, but if that's one of the symptoms you have, you can get pain medicine that has caffeine in it that is specific for the kind of medicine that is specific for menstruation, and a lot of the ingredients tackle different symptoms that you have. Like, oh, this is for this is for that, this is for that. Because I have some other issues, like issues as in symptoms, and it like clears up all of my symptoms. I literally could not live without Midol. Like, if this is something that happens every month, I need Midol. Like the first 2 days, I need it. So, back to the pain, though. The fatigue, you thought it was just you. No, this is a real thing. You can definitely get the medicine. It is... Okay, we'll get back to the stomach thing later. But this is an important thing to talk about. That if you've never tried the medicine for this, like, you know, you go to Target, you go to a Walgreens, whatever, go to the medicine section and look in the aisle where they have pain relief medicine, and somewhere there is going to be the menstruation, like one specifically targeted for that, and you go there, you pick up some. I usually only take like one a day for those 2 days at the beginning of my period. Some people have cramps on different days. It's whenever you start to feel the cramp coming, you should take it. And then you'll feel that you don't get the intense cramp later. But if you, again, right when you start to catch the symptom that you almost feel like you're about to have cramps, that's when you start stretching. And keep stretching. If you forget to stretch and you feel the cramp later, still remember to stretch. It still helps. However, it's even more effective before you get the cramp. If you don't have, if you don't have heat packs or you don't have a heated blanket, the next best thing is you could drink hot tea or take a hot shower. However, you might not always have the option to do any of those things, but just know that if you can apply heat and warm up your body. It really helps. Now, again, general advice, maybe it doesn't work for some people, but it should work for a lot of people. So yeah, I knew people who were like, oh man, I'm having these really bad cramps. I was like, have you ever taken the pain medicine? They were like, what? I was like, yeah, you can take this and it will be really helpful. And they were like, oh yeah, like they were already in their mid-20s and they've never taken the pain medicine before. And I've been using it since like high school. So that's something that my mom taught me, is the medicine that was the most important. She was all like, oh, drink hot tea, rest, and take medicine, and you should feel better. But if you haven't already been using the medicine, start taking the medicine. Especially, like, look, if you get tired with the fatigue, look for one that says it contains caffeine in it. So, you can get caffeine in tea and coffee and other drinks like that. But did you know you can technically just buy caffeine in a pill and just take that without having to drink coffee or tea? Now, of course, I usually prefer my caffeine from tea. However, the strongest caffeine I get is from coffee. So whenever I need to drive long distances, you're gonna see me drinking coffee. However, there's some downsides to it, is that I cannot fall asleep. So if you take coffee too late in the day, it'll still be in your system that by the time you need to go to bed, you can't sleep. Even though you're in bed, you put away your phone, and you want to sleep, you can't sleep. But because I typically get my cramps at the beginning of the day, and this is like when you're on your period and when you're tired, you can take the medicine with caffeine in it, and it should be early enough in the day, it shouldn't affect you. The effect should already wear off before the time you need to go to bed. So just take that into account. Okay, I'm going to double check my speed test again, because my internet did drop. I know it's back, but my internet did drop for that time. So it seems that my internet is slightly lower than it was at the start of stream. However, it's still really fast. It is still 5 times faster than my normal speed. Yeah. So I have 500 download and a like 900 upload, which again, still really good. Let's see what happens when I change the server. Sometimes I get different numbers for changing the server. I really don't know what's the difference. Okay, pretty much the same. Let's do some stretches. I'm gonna reach the sky. Okay. Ooh, also, someone sent me this. I asked them, so I put a listing online, and I was asking people like, oh, who has this product? It was from like a gacha results, and I got certain gacha prizes, other people got different gacha prizes, and in my prizes, I didn't get the thing that I wanted, so I had to reach out to people. I made a post and used like hashtags and whatnot, and keywords, that if someone saw my post, hopefully they could sell me the stuff that they had. And I bought the things that they... Oh, did I ever open an acrylic stand? Maybe I did open... It's probably maybe in my other room. So I'll check that later. But I have my cute little guy. Gacha prizes are super cute, yeah. I wish I could take a photo right now and send it, like put it on screen. I'm too lazy to find the image of the one on Twitter and post that for you, so I'm really just... there might be one on my drive. If it's on my drive and I can find it... not drive, photos. I confuse photos with drive. Let me see how far I have to scroll back. Ah, okay. Oh, that didn't work. Let me just download it. Let's try this. Does this work? Ta-da! There's the guy. He's so cute. The one on the left and the one on the right. So the one on the right I pulled when I played the gacha. And the one on the left is the one that I bought from someone. You know who those are, yeah! I'm trying to sell the one on the right to someone. I'm sure somebody wants him. And the one in the middle is a pape, which is not part of the gacha. I just put it in like there for reference. So okay, I could have just hit delete, but I was doing Control Z. Silly me. But yeah, there's a Ryoma plush and a Vox plush from the gacha. You can get buttons, photo cards, acrylic stands from the gacha. So I got more of those things. There's like the ones of the character, quote unquote, like quote unquote character, quote unquote VTuber from a company. Like I wanted the specific character that I wanted, but some I pulled, some I didn't pull. And so I had to ask around, being all like, oh, does anybody have this, this, and this? I don't have those yet. And then so someone reached out to me being all like, oh, I have the plush, the acrylic stand, and the photo card. Would you like to buy it? And then I asked them like, oh yeah, let me know how much you want to sell it for, and also send me pictures of when you... So they had to come over from like Japan. And so I asked them like, oh, when it comes, can you prove that you have the item? And then, you know, send me that photo. So then I know for sure you're not scamming me, because there was this one time, unfortunately, I did get scammed that someone wanted to sell something to me, and like I had paid for it, however they never sent it, and it was really, really sad that like we agreed on a price and blah blah blah, this, that, and they just, you know, they didn't send it to me. It was really frustrating, because, you know, they're the kind of people, they like ghost you and whatever, they're not going to reply to you. They know, right? They knew the entire time. And I wasn't the only person who fell victim to this, because other people were reporting that this person was scamming people. And everyone got the account banned and terminated and everything. But it just sucks that all those people who fell for it, you know, they all lost their money. There's no way that you could get a charge back or anything. Yeah, resale scams are really annoying. So this was a person I was hoping that I could trust, because I made sure to check through that their Twitter was like a legitimate Twitter. The issue with the first person that was trying to sell something to me, but then like later scammed me, was that they copied a person's account that I was familiar with. And that's why everyone fell for it, because we all thought it was this other person. But it was like one letter change, which was, you know, when you switch like a capital I for like a lowercase L, it's like indistinguishable, you know what I mean? Impersonated. Yeah, so they had a Twitter account that had been deep faking and impersonating somebody else. They like used the same profile picture. This is the thing about their profile picture, is that it is a custom artwork, which is super disrespectful to like steal someone's like commissioned artwork that they are using for their profile picture, and then they stole it, they put it on their profile, they went over to like their bio, they copied the bio, they put it in their bio, they changed their Twitter handle, their name, the username, the everything, and they changed it by one letter, but that it was virtually indetectable, because like when you look at it at a glance, you think it's the same, right? Something as simple as like, you know, like a lowercase L and an uppercase I, like who's gonna notice the difference? It like in a glance, right? And so this person was also taking all the posts that the other person was making and duplicating all of those posts on their Twitter. They're like, oh, this person posted this photo and this caption, I'm also going to post this photo, this caption at the same time. Looks super similar. Yeah. and you're not gonna notice that. Like, so we all, because the person that they copied has such a good reputation, we thought this was that person. And so the person who, like, we later talked to, like, once we found out it was like a scam, we messaged the person that they were copying, and we're like, hey, this person's like copying, like using your likeness to like scam people out of money. And they were really frustrated with it too, because the situation was like out of their hands. Yeah, we could report them to Twitter and X that like, hey, this person's been doing this, or like scamming plus like impersonating, and the best they could do is take down the account, but it doesn't get anybody's money back or anything. I tried to talk to my bank saying like, oh yeah, this money got sent out, but blah blah blah, like I didn't receive the product. So but the money, thankfully, it was like a relatively small amount, because I only bought like one thing, but you know, it could have been the case that somebody else who like quote unquote like fell for it, they could have bought like way more than I did and send the money and then lost all that money. So basically, like, the person who was deepfaking the account and doing the impersonating, they basically copied everything that they could one-to-one. Anytime that person reposted something, they would repost the same thing. Anytime this person tweeted something, they would copy the tweet and they would post it. Anytime that this person was like posting a photo, they would take that photo and repost it. They would try to do everything that they could to look exactly like the other person. Same bio, same information, very similar looking username. It was actually just insane. I don't know if this person has something negative against... Yeah, that's insane. To copy someone, steal their money, do an entire like impersonation account is literally insane. And part of us think that this person, other than like, oh, wanting to use the good reputation of this person, might have had some sort of personal vendetta against them or something. Like, we don't know how this other person, like their motivation for doing this, other than like, oh, they wanted money. However, they, you know, were able to do that under the guise of like the person that they're copying. But why did they copy them in particular in the first place, other than maybe they just had a good reputation? We think maybe, and this is only a we think maybe, right? We think maybe that this person didn't like that person either. Because you go through the genuine person's account and you see that they've been talking about certain things that they've been feeling, and so this person, without giving away too many details, is very popular in the VTuber space as a viewer. They themselves are not a VTuber, however, they are well off enough that you would see them giving a lot of gifteds and giving a lot of donations and sending a lot of messages. They're really nice. They're genuinely really nice. They didn't deserve this treatment that they had received from that other person. And so I've seen them around. I've seen them in this person's chat, I've seen them in this person's chat, and I've seen them in other people's chats. Two of the streamers that I really like to watch, this person is in those streams, and so like I've seen them around, like, oh, they're really nice. And the liver slash streamer also knows that this is a nice person. So everyone knows who this person is. There are some people you could just tell are kind of like community staples, right? They're just like so noticeable. You know, sometimes I talk about this thing called like magnetism. There are some people you just feel attracted towards. However, this is a suspicion that, you know, with the large attractive quality that they have, other people get jealous of that and they want that for themselves. They're like really bitter about that they don't have what that other person has, and they're jealous, like, oh, I want that, and because I can't have that, I want to hurt your reputation and do something harmful towards you because I feel like sad inside, which is really awful. That someone can feel so sad inside that it makes them act out against anyone that they're jealous of. Now, of course, that is like a hypothetical. We are not totally for sure that that was the case, that was happening. However, it did seem that way. Because the way that the genuine person has been talking about experiences they've had on Twitter is that they felt very isolated and hated online. Like they're like, oh, I feel like I'm receiving a lot of hate for something that is like they didn't understand. They're like, oh, like I'm being so nice online, how is it that I'm receiving hate for it? And so there are just those people out there that are just gonna be hateful through their jealousy. And they had to step away from online. So I never heard from the impersonator side, obviously, of like why they did it. They aren't going to out themselves like that. However, the other person who is genuine, they were talking about how other people have gone after them, saying that, oh, they shouldn't be complaining about how, like, you know, if the genuine person was like expressing like, oh, feeling loneliness and feeling this and that and isolation and stuff, that the other people who are super jealous of what they have, they're all like, oh, how can you be isolated and feeling sad and stuff? Like they hated seeing that person speak up about that when they know they envy what that person has. They're all like, oh, but you have all these other things, how can you complain about like being sad and stuff? Like, you are so well loved in the community, you are not isolated, you are not, you know, stuff like that. It's really heartbreaking to see in the community because a lot of people, you know, they think maybe it seems like comment fishing. Like if you talk about how sad you are online, people are going to comment naturally, you know, they want to support you. They're like, oh, hey, like we hope that, you know, like we hope that you feel better, we're sending like our love, like we really care about you, all that kind of stuff, right? Like their friends and community members are reaching out to them or posting comments under their posts that like, oh, we want to show that you are very loved and that we hope that you don't have these like sad feelings anymore and stuff like that. Like anything that we feel like we can help to make them not feel as sad because like we care about them. But some other people are like, oh, you bought those people, they're not actually your friends. Some people can see it that way because, again, when you see someone who has money that they earned from their job, by the way, like they earned that money. It's not like some people have generational wealth. I think this person like legitimately actually worked their way. I forgot what kind of job they had, but I'm pretty sure like they worked their way to be able to have money and then spend it supporting other people. Like they have favorite people online and they spend that money to support them through gifteds and donations and things like that on YouTube or Twitch and stuff. And so some people are like, oh wow, you have all this money that you're throwing at people, you are buying that person's love. I was like, no, they're also just really nice. Like, have you like actually read what they've said online? And so, you know, some people who are just like not willing to see that, they're, again, they let the bitterness and the envy and the jealousy take over them, as opposed to accepting this person online. They are just so negatively just harming themselves, harming other people, and just isolating themselves further. They weren't doing anything good or productive, like the hateful person, right? So some people just like get ticked off. They're all like, they see this person have everything that they want, and yet they're still complaining about being sad. They see that, how is it that they keep complaining about being sad when all these people underneath, like in the comment section, are being so supportive of them and want them to like, hey, like, we hope that you don't feel this way about yourself anymore, like, just know that, you know, we're there for you, and all the nice stuff. And yet they were still going online complaining about like, oh, the stuff that they were feeling. And even the livers and talents themselves, they would also be commenting under them too, being like, oh, hey, like, we recognize like who you are in the community, like, we really love you being there, you know, we hope that you can cheer up, that like, you know, you make this like a good place to be when you're there, you know, all that nice stuff. And so I see it from a semi-neutral point of view, where I'm all like, I'm just gonna say, hey, I don't really know this person, like, know them. I just see what's on Twitter, and I'm not like completely neutral. I'm on the side that's just trying to see like what might be the reason that they're being attacked, or what might be the reason that they're feeling sad, or what might there be like, who's like, just seeing all the interactions happen online. I would leave a few comments being nice and stuff, but yeah, you would see that the situation felt like it was never changing. I think in the end, they stepped away from online just because of how toxic the space got for them, because, you know, some of the negatives were outweighing all the good. For me, you know, I would take all the good, and hopefully that outweighs the negative, which is why I'm still online, even though I have negative interactions. But for them, maybe they're receiving so many negative interactions that it wasn't worth being online anymore. So I think they also got more busy with their job and such, that, you know, they had to spend more time away from online anyway. And so through a combination of everything, I literally have never seen this person on my timeline ever since. I never see them around. Ever since they were talking about how, oh yeah, they're going to be busy and away from online, they literally left online. So I don't know how they're doing now. Hopefully it's that was like a good decision and better for them. So jealousy definitely can lead to something like that. It's awful that it could lead to such extreme situations. Yes. So however vengeful that other person was feeling, I overall hope that they never do that to anybody else ever again. I don't know that for sure that they have changed, because when their account got taken down, who knows what other accounts they could be running now. Maybe they're also still copying other people that they're jealous of, and then scamming people through that person's like good reputation. And, you know, they just keep popping up. This is like a thing that could happen, we don't know for sure, is that, are they popping up making more temporary accounts, like burner accounts, throwaway accounts, just to copy people and then, you know, scam the easy pickings, right? People who are looking for merch to be buying online. It's easy to make fake accounts on social media. Yeah, you can literally pretend to be anyone. It's especially scary on like April Fools, where people, like, that's the one day of the year where quote-unquote impersonation is socially acceptable, like it's a funny joke. However, that can lead to your account getting suspended, depending on who you impersonate and how many people will report you for that, because it is against terms of service on the website to be impersonating someone. And to like not disclose that this is a parody account or blah blah blah. It's because if you do something that exhibits negative impacting behavior, that people are definitely going to report you for that. Some people, they copy in goodwill, and some people, they copy and have bad intentions. So because you use maybe foul language or say something really, really insensitive and ignorant, and it looks as though you might be the person that you're copying, that's against terms of service. Like, you're not allowed to do stuff like that, obviously. Impersonation can literally end an innocent person's YouTube career. It probably really could. It's unfortunate that certain platforms, they take the wrong side. Like, for some reason, it's so easy to scam people, but so hard to reverse everything. Like, oh, if something bad happens to you, it is so much harder to get, like, to contest that sort of thing. There was this one famous instance. It wasn't YouTube. They are a YouTuber, and they are, I think, maybe also on Twitch, but for sure we know that they have a big YouTube account. And they make music, and they upload to Spotify. A lot of people listen to that. There was somebody who hated this person, hacked some stuff. They took the new uploaded song on Spotify, somehow were able to gain access to this person's Spotify account, or they hacked this or whatever. However that they did it, they replaced the song with something like really incredibly foul and offensive, that anyone who went to go listen to the song under this certain title, the track that would play was really, really, really offensive. And so it took a while, but the thing is that people think, like, the platform might think that, oh, we are going to, like, shut down your account or, like, put strikes on it, and that's next level insanity. So this person is also, once again, a very genuinely good person. However, they're so super, super, super insanely popular online. You're gonna have the jealous people, you're gonna have the bitter people, you're gonna have the envious people. They will be pushed to do things that are just so far beyond what you think someone would ever do towards a good person. For some reason, good people just seemingly attract all this bad negativity in their life. Somehow, right? Somehow. So, not that I could ever attain that level of popularity, but if I lived in a universe where I was so popular, I received so much hate and so much bullying for, just being a nice person online, I would not want to be famous if it meant that I had to deal with that. But yeah, that person was harming the person's credibility and reputation by switching out a song that was uploaded on Spotify under the famous person's name. Mass hate online can also be career-ending. Yeah. I saw some... I don't know why I'm talking about this. I was... probably because I've been doom scrolling online a lot. Just because my mental state has not been super great, that it's led me to doom scrolling more than usual. Which is concerning because it was already kind of bad earlier. Like, I am not the best role model. I can have, like, some good morals here and there, but never think that I'm perfect. There is no human that's perfect. And so, there were a lot of videos I was watching on YouTube about controversial things, or scrolling Twitter, I saw more controversial things, and there's this one that I'll keep pretty vague. I do know a little bit more information on it, but I'm just gonna keep it randomly vague. Is that there's a person who made a very popular customizable VTuber model, which if you don't know, it's where you buy one model, but it comes with so many features. You get to pick and choose the hair, you get to pick and choose the colors, you can change the eyes, the clothes, everything. It's like a dress-up doll. You're like, you want to change the hair, you want to change the face, you want to change the proportions. It has so many adjustable sliders, but they sell it for relatively very cheap because everyone who buys the model and changes it to their liking will eventually make up the cost of what it took to produce such a very large amount of work. And that the thing is that it got so popular, this specific person's model, I think you buy for like less than $200, which is a really great price for the level of quality that you're getting. It was like just over $100. It might have been like around 150 or under 150, something like that, right? That it fell into the hands of some wrong people online, and this person called the original owner. You know, they received messages and complaints about like, oh hey, this person is reselling your model for cheaper. And they were undercutting the value and undercutting the market. So they were taking profits away that would have otherwise been going to the original artist. And it was really unfair because the person makes a call out post, or they email them. Well, they emailed them first, and when they received the email reply back, they were incredibly rude. And they broke terms of service of, when you buy that model, you have to agree to certain terms and conditions. However, that person broke the rules. You're not supposed to resell the model. You're not supposed to do this or that or certain things. Like, you're not supposed to stream anything controversial. And because if someone sees that you're using this particular model, other people might not buy that model. It becomes like bad advertisement. Like, you don't want to be associated with someone who uses a similar model to yours. And the person, when they saw the response was very negative, they made a call out post on Twitter, and it obviously goes viral. And that the person emails them again saying like, oh, blah blah blah, oh, you're being like super hateful too, like how come we didn't just, you know, why didn't you just like forget about this, like, oh, why didn't you just take my side of things, or like, oh, you know, I was being fair. Like, I think that it's important to make a post because you want people to avoid buying the model from a reseller, and, you know, state that, hey, this person is like a scammer, like, oh hey, this person blah blah blah, or they're like, you know, they're breaking the terms of service and they're all this blah 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 blah. The person that was targeting the person that they were calling out does something even worse on top of that. Is now, instead of selling the model, they started distributing the model for free. And there were people who took theirs. Oh, and by the way, the person who stole that model, they stole the profits off of the model. They bought the model the first time. However, then they were stealing profit off of the original artist by reselling it. They also did the same thing for other people's models, like customizable models. They bought from one artist, and then resold it to other people, multiple people. They bought someone else's customizable model and started re-uploading that and selling that for other people to buy at a cheaper price. And then because enough people buy it from them, even though it's at a cheaper price, when enough people buy it, it offsets the cost that they originally paid for the customizable model the first time. So this person is making profit for literally just buying and reselling. And they never intended to buy it to stream. They bought it so that they could redistribute it illegally, because it was against the terms of service that they agreed to when they first bought it. It was stated in the offending person's email. They were like, oh yeah, I bought this fair and square. I could do whatever I want with it. And they were all like, oh, I paid a lot of money for this. Like, blah, 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 blah. Which, again, they were misinformed because they are not allowed to resell it. They thought that if they bought it, for some reason that gave them the rights to be the owner of it. We'll probably keep this stream on the somewhat shorter side because we're just having a casual talk. I'm still eating my food, so while I do still have to finish this, maybe I'll end on the 2-hour mark. Because I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, it caused me to sleep in. However, I'm still tired. I probably need a good few days to rest up and reset my sleep schedule. Hopefully not be doing like a crazy amount of doom scrolling where I see all of this bad stuff happening online. Like, I'm getting to that point where, again, Twitter is a dangerous place to be, so I'm glad that you're not on Twitter. Is that you'll see so much negative stuff online. However, I feel out of the loop if I don't keep up with that sort of thing. Like, if I leave Twitter for a day or two, I feel like you miss so many crazy things that happen. So, you are just really out of the loop if you don't keep up with that stuff. And like, I'm in certain communities where like, oh, that information is relevant. Oh, there was this other crazy one. Yeah, I guess I'm just going into all the crazy stuff I've seen on Twitter. There was this one, I don't know, a group of people or if it was one person, but they did even more crazy thing. I don't know where this falls on the level of crazy, but I think this is crazier than the person who is reselling VTuber models. I do still think that is absolutely horrendous. However, on the scale of horrendous, this one I think ranks above how bad that is, quote unquote. Because somewhat the size and scale of the effect that it has is that it affects so many more people. Like, it went even more viral, and how many people knew about this? It affected the lives of so many more people that they were targeting. Yeah, you stay away from Twitter because of the drama. Someone's always getting exposed, cancelled, and all that other sort of negative stuff. Yes, so this one, you should like this one is gonna take like a few breaths of like moments to understand how weird and creepy this is. Like, you're probably the kind of person that would be all like, why would anyone ever do that? That is so crazy. So, yeah, you don't have the time to be keeping up with internet drama. You're a college student. So, yeah, pretty much. When I was in college, I was never on Twitter. I saw no value in Twitter at the time. It was like during COVID and after that when streamer culture was super big that I wanted to keep up with streamers. I don't keep up with celebrities. Although I know that, you know, celebrities are on Twitter. It was anyone who was a content creator in YouTube or Twitch. So, imagine there's a group of people who build like a website publicly announcing the names of a lot of VTubers, not doxing them. However, this is kind of not as bad as doxing, but just weird. They built, I don't know what format it was in, but they built some sort of period tracker calendar, and men online were defending the people who built it. And the women absolutely abhorred that these men would like post, like, one, stalk the people so much online that they figured out when their period schedule was and made that information publicly trackable on this website. Like, oh, if you search the name of this person and if they are in the database, you can see this is like their like, so not physically stalking, but stalking them online and figuring out when their period was, and then putting that on some form of a calendar and tracking their cycle and making that information publicly known against the consent of the person whose information that they were posting about. Yes, exactly. I knew you were like gonna freak out about this. Like, it's just so weird and creepy and such a huge invasion of personal space and your boundaries. And then on top of that, there were people who reacted to this saying that it was okay. Like, we are so fucked as a society that people were defending this. Now, while it is not a bad thing to talk about periods online, it is not okay to go against somebody's boundaries. It's an issue with consent. About, we didn't want you to talk about this against our will and without our knowledge. They didn't ask the people, can we post this information about you? Like, they just went and did it. Now, of course, people who looked up their name and asked to remove this information, on top of that, some people were all like, how were you so accurate? Some of these were like surprisingly accurate. Defending stalking is horrible. Defending stalking a period schedule, insane. Yeah. And it's just so weird. But yeah, this is the thing that you can avoid knowing about if you never go on Twitter. Because Twitter has so much drama like this. Being all like, this person's cancelled, and this person's getting called out. Like, this person is, like, recently, because of the rise of AI and such, and AI scammers, where they use AI in a way to profit off of innocent people and such. I was watching these YouTube videos or like coming across on Twitter people calling out like AI scammers and AI quote-unquote artists, but not artists. They were just AI tracers. AI tracing is so incredibly disrespectful, especially if you charge a commission. There are a lot of people online that are charging commissions, and when you commission this person, they are not upfront about disclosing they were using AI to make your commission, whether that may have been prompting something and giving that to you straight up, being on like, I'm going to charge you $300, I'm just going to type in a prompt online, spit out an image, not even to bother to fix it, right? If there was something that was wrong with it, they didn't even fix it. They would send it and hoping that, oh, they're not going to get caught. However, because of people posting all this stuff online, that people start noticing things. They're all like, oh, hey, that looks suspicious. Then later there's enough evidence to call them out, being all like, hey, you are charging $300 for work that you're not doing, selling it under the belief that you were genuinely making this artwork and not through the use of AI. Whether there was AI assisted, AI traced, AI generated, there are some people who will make fake time lapses to quote unquote prove that they did the art for real. So what they do is they would find the most complicated ways to hide the tracing layer, and then like they they take an AI generated image, they put it on a layer that they can hide in their recording software, whether that's built in or that's a plugin or whatever, some kind of way to manipulate the screen recording, pass it off as a screen recording, but there's a lot of manipulation. And then on top of their AI generated image, they will trace the outline, trace the colors, do this, do that and stuff, like color picking and then doing stuff. And the damning part about their quote-unquote evidence is that it's very obvious when someone is drawing legitimately and when someone is tracing, because tracing line art should never look that perfect and be drawn in that way. Usually you would do a sketch, a very believable sketch, then have rough lines, and then after you're on another layer, you do like a very like logical way of outlining the order of the drawing. But you see some of these recordings and they're so obviously traced that it has no logic, but yet it's so perfect on the first try. I was like, you're not even trying to hide the fact that you were tracing. They don't know enough about drawing to know what the real drawing process looks like, that they could imitate what a real speed paint looks like. Because if you look at a speed paint and you look across all legitimate, genuine speed paints, that you could see the commonalities of what does logical processual drawing look like to arrive at the finished product, and it makes sense. You look at the way that the screen recordings or time lapses of a traced artwork looks like, and they will hide a lot of stuff from you, and then the end result looks too perfect based off of like the way that you saw the process. And it's just, you watch these videos and you would know immediately. Even if you've never seen any other tracing time-lapse, you can know that this immediately stands out from a real time-lapse. There even is like fake AI time lapses, which are very obviously an AI made the time lapse. Because again, it doesn't do the same process and the same steps in the same order with the same fidelity as what a human does. An AI will just spit out random crap and pass it off as a time lapse. So AI can do that too. Not very well, but like, it could fool some people. However, when you submit that as evidence, when someone's calling you out, hey, we know you use AI, blah, 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 you're charging for commissions, blah, 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 that's not fair, people should get refunds. Then they're all like, oh, here's my evidence. And the evidence just puts the final nail in the coffin. Also, like, what really sucks a lot is some of these people, if you look at their older work before AI art tools existed, they were legitimate artists. But then after AI came out, they very suspiciously changed the way that they draw. That was very much in line with what other people who are AI prompters, I would say, do instead of drawing. The AI generated stuff too genuinely irritates you that people feed the hard work of humans into a machine that doesn't have a brain. Yeah. Obviously, one of the main issues with AI generated quote unquote slop, right? It's not art. The slop that's generated came from a database that was ripped apart from it was what's that word? Not like mined, scraped. So it was like data scraped from online of anything that was just like online and stuff that became like a conglomerate of information of being all like, head shapes look like this, hair shapes look like this, lighting shapes look like this, and then it all gets mashed together and it makes this just absolute slop that has just no soul. It looks pretty. It knows how to look pretty. But it has no meaning behind it. What I like most about being an artist, even though what I draw is flawed, it still shows that I had a thought. And the best part about drawing for me is that, like, I get to feel like I'm engaging my brain and engaging my body into doing something that is creative. Like, drawing for me is not a means of like finding money, financial, like it's not a means for like financial stability or whatever, right? I don't use it to pay the bills, so I don't want to say I understand why these people are using this fake crap to like pay the bills. I don't think it's justified. I see where the line of thinking is. They're all like, oh, well, a quick way to make money, blah, 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 scam people, blah, 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 so I can pay the bills. It's just that, okay, so for someone like me who, thankfully, like, I do it for fun, but that's the thing is that when you make art, it's fun. I was all like, what's the point of generating something and then I don't get to have fun? Right? Some people, they don't even do it for a financial means. They post it so that they can get a bunch of likes on Twitter. And so, yeah, they get a big account. Yeah, they get a bunch of likes. But they have not gained anything within themselves. Like, for me, I get better at art. I feel good about that. I, love the therapeutic feeling of when I get lost in the drawing. You once had a teacher back in high school ask for an AI-generated project? Oh, that's fucked. Ew. That's gross. I completely get where you're getting from about, like, seeing that happen in the classroom, because I actually did see another teacher who was a professor in college say, like, hey, use these websites, throw on these AI filters on your photos. Go outside, take photos, and then run them through a slop filter. I was so disgusted. Professor, yes. Although, you call them a professor, however, I don't think they're like a real professor. At least they're not the kind of professor I think of when I say the word professor. I was like, just because you teach at a college does not earn you the same respect as the title of a professor. I get that, oh, you just need like a degree to be like a professor and then you're like able to teach and such. I was all like, yeah, but if you are giving us crap assignments like that and teaching this is what students should do and do very unprofessional stuff, like they were not a professor in my eyes, even if they were quote-unquote called a professor, to ask for AI slop. Yeah. It makes me super bothered. I apologize for my model, like, doing this. It's literally, like, I pick up the bottle, I put it in front of my face, it tracks the bottle, but it doesn't track my head. Because the bottle is in front of my face, and for whatever reason, it thinks that's me. I still have to finish my food. No! What the heck? Okay, was it one of those things where they're all like, oh, you have to like create an outline with AI? Or was it that the essay you have to turn in uses like AI text that was prompted? Because I can maybe imagine, like, where, you shouldn't do it at all, but like, where in the step did they ask you to use AI? Like, where was it quote unquote okay? I'm curious because like, I'm not in college right now during this height of AI right now, where teachers are taking sides between using AI and not using AI. Like, in the syllabus, does it say yes AI, no AI? Bro! No, that's, again, even worse. Because, like, now the teacher doesn't even care. Like, she's basically saying, like, hey, you're gonna get your education off of AI. Like, I don't know how much she's, like, revising the lesson plans. I can imagine like a teacher would be better at prompting, but it questions the integrity of what you're learning. Because what if they're not changing the lesson plans and now you're just straight up learning from whatever AI has to teach you? I think that, oh god, there was this TikTok or YouTube Shorts or whatever that was really scary to me. It was a... So, the thing is that ChatGPT... It's... Like, ChatGPT has a way that it speaks. It formulates its responses like in a very specific format and uses very specific language that doesn't sound quite really like a human. It's like, yeah, it's emulating a person, but you know it's like an emulation of a person because a real person would never talk like this. There was like an Instagram short or whatever. It was like some kind of short form content where it was a skit between a friend and, or like a person and their friend, and the friend it was portraying a character of a friend who uses too much ChatGPT that they started speaking like ChatGPT. So the person goes up to them with a problem, and then the friend, quote unquote friend, in the bit, the skit or whatever, they start giving the response like the same way that ChatGPT gives a response. And that just goes to show that while that was an exaggeration, you could totally see that happening in real life, where the way that people speak start becoming the same way that this like ChatGPT AI stuff speaks. You need to go for a minute? Yeah, you thought about like what like where is this money going toward that you're paying for your college education? Yeah. It sucks because like as a student with a growing mind, you might not know how to like get quote unquote accurate answers. You won't know the difference between what is an accurate response. You might just look at it and take it at face value and use it as the truth because it talks in a way that just seems like it's the truth, and then people are fooled by that and they start taking it like the truth. Let me just turn this off for a second. I wanted to add something to the screen. So width 1080, tab 1920. Okay, the speed, color shift. I wanted to do that. I thought that would be funny. I could make it go slower. Properties. I wanted to be able to add text, however, I couldn't get it to do that. Because it wants me to add an image source. However, I don't have an image source where I have the message be right back. Properties. You're back. Oh, look look what I added to the screen. I wanted to use a text source, however, it made me use an image source, so this was just like the first image. You haven't seen that model in a while? Yeah, my PNG tuber. Yeah, I was adding the DVD screensaver plugin that does this funny animation where it does the bouncing thing, where it, yeah, it's really funny. Well, yeah. I wanted it to say like, be right back, so that I could toggle it on and off for like when I'm gone. Like, what if I have to use the bathroom or something? And then so I would like toggle this on and off for like, oh, be right back, right? But in the past, I was able to set like a text box or something. But now I can only set like an image. So now I need an image that says be right back. So I might go ahead and make one right now. Why not? I'm just gonna go to a thingy. What is a like a fun? Okay, where's let's just go with sans serif. Oh, let's go with good old Bebanoy or whatever. Okay, I tried. I give up. Properties. Because I was gonna do it like this, which would be funny. However, it's not perfect. I wanted to get rid of the white box, but I give up. You're gonna see the white box. So I have this now, I guess. Anyway, I'm back. Celestial float, yeah, lol. What happens if I add another one? Nah. Oh, I can do some cool stuff too. I can do this. Let's go here. And... hide graph when audio is silent, sure. Process while muted, no. Multiple swans. No, I was gonna do like this waveform where every time I speak it does like a... this. But let me change the type of shape. So this one's curved. You could also do like bars like this. You could do this. No, let's not do that one. Stepped? No. Waveform experiment. Whoa. Let's just keep it to this one. I like using this one. What is FFT size? No idea. Fast peaks. Interpolation. Filter. Low cutoff. High cutoff. Floor. Let's see what happens. Oh. Test. Test. That's kind of okay. I'm gonna test. Sure, why not? Slope, base color, all this stuff. I don't know. Well, I used to have it be like funky colors and stuff. Let's just do it like this. Make it a color, why not? Gonna move this over here, just cause I can. This is just like a fun thing. And then I can also put effects on it. Why not? Filters. I'm literally just messing around. The sound wave. Yeah, it's like a sound wave. I know I could do like a drop shadow or something. You're eating mac and cheese. Shadow. Just cause I can. Okay. I don't want it to be too far away. Shadow distance. Bring it in closer. That's probably better. And then... close. And then I can also apply some other stuff where I go into blending mode. What does add look like? No, let's not do add. Multiply usually. Oh, I don't like multiply in this version. Lighten. Nope. Blending method. Okay, let's just go. Oh, what's screen? Screen doesn't really do anything. Okay, go back to normal. Yeah. So, this is, yeah. I downloaded a whole bunch of filters and stuff. So I could do some like really crazy filters on something like this. There's this really cool one. Wait, what does this do? I don't even know what this one is. What does these do? I have no idea. Let me delete that. Retro effects. What's retro effects look like? Frame skip, posterize. Whoa. Pass through, retro code. Whoa. Scan lines. Glitch. Digital glitch. Whoa! That's crazy! Bloom. What about bloom? Nope. VHS? What is VHS? Oh god. cathode boot. I don't even know what these things are. Analog glitch. Whoa, that's crazy. I'm gonna turn that off. That's really trippy. Whoa. Remove. I know I had also some really cool ones. Don't know where they are. I mean, I can also do user-defined ones. Use effects, load from file. Oh yeah. Doodle effect? What does doodle effect look like? Does that look like anything? Whoa, it's like wiggling back and forth. Oh, that's so trippy again. Browse. Divide, rotate, drawing. Okay, drawings. How different? Oh, I don't like that. Cartoon? What is cartoon effect? What does this? No. Doesn't do anything. Wavy, yeah. Chroma UV distortion. What it? Ooh. These aren't the ones I'm thinking of that I wanted to do. Emboss color. Emboss? What is emboss? Oh, let me click reload. Nope. Alright. Let's see. Acceldro bent camera? What does Acceldro? Oh, I just broke it. Ha! Okay, I just like broke the computer for a hot second. Lol. Move capture device. What's move video capture device? Control camera pan. Control camera tilt. What? I don't even know what any of these do. Device. What is this? Nope. Okay. Let's... Oh, hello. This? No. Okay. Delete this. 3D effects? Oh, I think one of them was called 3D effect. So I can actually... Oh. Test. Oh my god, that's crazy. Wait, field of view? What does... What about this? What is that? Oh my god. Perspective, orthographic? Whoa! Oh my god. Ah. Okay, maybe not orthographic. What about this? What about this? I'm clicking random buttons. Test. Whoa! Whoa, it's at this crazy angle. And it's like upside down too. What if I rotate Y on this way? That's kind of cool. It's like skewed. Trippy, yeah. Yeah, it's like on a... It's like this really cool angle. However, I do need like... to pad out like the size of the box. So let me go into my properties and like figure out how to pad out the box. Video height. I guess make it bigger, I guess. Test. I don't know. I don't know if this did anything. Oh wait, that's width. Test. Okay, let's just make it really big. Test. Ooh, test. I wonder if I can get it to like match this angle. That would be crazy. Test. Okay, I'm gonna put this under the model. And then I want it. I want to see if I can like get it to match the plane of the ground. Would be kind of crazy. That would be kind of cracked. That'd be like just such a funny detail. Okay, but would it be on test? Okay, test. Whoa. Test. Test. Nope. Okay, test. Whoa. Test. Whoa. Test. Whoa! Can I do Control Z? I can. Test. Oh, we're getting closer. Test. Test. Oh, test. Okay, let's leave this one at 0. Why not? What happens if we change this into like 100? No. No. 105? Oh. Oh, kind of. Kind of. Test. Yay. Yay. Almost. Oh, let's see. 106. 107. 108. Okay, it's like somewhere between 107.5. Test. Yeah, that's kind of cool, isn't it? I have no idea what I'm doing. Test. That's kind of crazy. I have no idea what I'm doing. And then close this. And then let's go into properties again. I don't need it to be like width. Let's see, what if I do 500? Test. Nope. Test. Step width, step gap. Bar width. 500. Test. Whoa. It's kind of cool when I have like more here. Yeah, maybe. Test. Hehe. That's kind of just, it's just really funny. Test. I could make it maybe go lower. Test. I could probably get the angle just a little bit smidge better. Okay, let's get a 5 here. Test. Maybe that's good. And then maybe I could do like a different, like a order. No, the transforming. Blending mode. Okay, what does subtract look like? Whoa, it's red. Okay, I want to go back into filters and add like some other kind of filter on it. And then we could do like some kind of color changes or anything. Load from file. Is there a way to like do the color change? It's like HSL. Probably. There's H. Hue, rotation, HSL, saturation shader. Okay, maybe this one. And then I can like change. Gamma. Test. Nope, no idea what nope. None of that does anything. Okay, close this one. Or actually. No, delete this. You can go into properties and just go back and oh yes, properties and go and change the color. Select something else. Render method solid. Base color. Let's see what happens when I go lighter, desaturated, and then test. Oh, it like turns more black. I want to get it so that it's like a faded color. Back to more properties. Normalize volume. Maybe that might. Oh, whoa. Target volume? What's this do? Oh, wow. Target volume? Whoa. Okay, let's turn that back off again. Min bar height. I don't even know what interpolation is. There is gradient. So I could turn gradient into... Oh, that's kind of cute. There's like a dark blue and a light... Oh, I'm frozen again? Test. Okay, I can also go back. Let me go back to blending mode. Normal again. Where's this? Test. What happens when I do add? Test. Oh, add just kind of looks like this. I want to see like which filter can give me like an opacity. Is that color key? Color correction maybe? Color correction, right? Maybe. Okay, brightness. Like I can lower the brightness. What about gamma? Gamma. Nah, that's not what I want. Oh, opacity here. Oh, make it really low. More saturated. Bring gamma. Bring brightness back up. Test. No. Saturation back up. Test. Okay. Color add. Test. Never mind, it's back to normal. Sorry about that. Yeah, when I click on effects, sometimes I think it'll probably... If I'm trying to do effects while in the middle of streaming, it could probably throw off like the streaming. It could like cause some freezes and things. Hehehe, what if I do this? Yeah, you like the color? I'm trying to get it to be like very subtle. So scale filtering, blend, add, subtract screen, maybe. Just to throw it in there for fun. I don't even know if I quite got the correct plane of perspective, but it looks kind of sick. Yeah. So yeah, I was just like, I'm literally just having fun. I'm wondering, like, what's the legality of, you know, of course, you shouldn't be using copyright music on your YouTube channel because, you know, it might turn off your monetization and stuff like that. I still want to figure out how to do, like, a karaoke. Like, what songs would I be able to use? Because I don't know how to get, quote-unquote, like, perms to be able to sing it on stream and stuff and have it be legal or something. I would love to put out a cover or something. I just don't know how I'm supposed to do it legally. I might have to look up a YouTube video because I want to do like an acapella version or something. One of the big, I guess, creative projects you could call it. One of the big creative projects I want to get into is like a music video. Like, it won't have to have like a drawing or anything, but I'm talking about like singing wise. Like, how do you put out like singing a cover and then, you know, or singing something in acapella, like an acapella cover, how to do that and, you know, post that on YouTube without getting in trouble. I would also love to do a karaoke again, but I just don't know how to. I think I would need to maybe, if I live stream it, it can't stay up after. It has to be quote-unquote unarchived. After I stream it, it goes down. It can't stay up on the channel. Oh, I did finish my porridge, and it is 2 o'clock. It is 4:22 right now. And so I might be heading off soon. I've kind of just been like messing around in OBS and having fun with like stuff like this. I need to figure out a prettier version of that by like getting a nicer font and actually going in Adobe Illustrator, like opening that and making a thing that I want. Ooh, other streams, maybe next week I want to do a drawing stream, even if it's just like a cute doodle or something. But I could either do something like make a fan art or do a thumbnail, something. But I haven't tried it in my new setup where I have the drawing. You finished your food too? Yay. Yeah. But oh, let's plan out next week. Actually, let me pull up my calendar. So I will... Oh, so tomorrow... Drawing stream, yes! Yeah! Yeah, that's gonna be sick. I have no idea what I'm gonna draw, but I want to... It's very easy to set up. I just haven't done it yet. So... Let's see. Tomorrow I had it so that I wanted to do a 2 o'clock stream. Did I actually add one? Okay. I haven't added it yet. So, oh, I added it to my YouTube schedule. I didn't add it to my calendar, so let me add it to my calendar. I was like, where is it? Okay. I'm gonna do another stream tomorrow, but we're gonna be playing Fast Penguin. And then on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I'm gonna be gone. Won't stream. The 18th, I'm going to be doing that. I might be busy on the 18th, so with a different thing. So you might not see me until Thursday, I think. So Thursday the 19th, I can... Let's plan that one to be the drawing stream. So if you have any work you want to do, or you want to eat food, anything that you want to do, 2 o'clock I will be doing a drawing stream. What will I be drawing? No idea. I have some ideas, don't know if I'll do them. Dave. Hopefully I can also stream on Friday, the day after that. Maybe play some more penguins. Tentatively, I'll put down 2 o'clock again. If things change, things change. So later over the weekend, you're gonna see me put out some kind of post that says, for Thursday and Friday of that week, on the 19th and 20th, for those 2 days, I should likely be having streams on at 2 p.m. That weekend, directly after that, on the 21st and the 22nd, I'm gonna be with my friend. Like, my roommate is traveling up to me, so I haven't seen her in a while. My roommate will be coming up to me. We're gonna be doing stuff, so like, oh, we're gonna be cooking, or we're gonna go out to eat, we're gonna be doing things and whatever. And then Monday the 23rd, which is like, you know, again, this is way later at this point that you don't, like, I don't need to put out my schedule for the rest of the month, but soon you can see a post of like what I will be streaming and when I will be streaming for the 19th and the 20th, just in case you forget. I will probably be wrapping up the stream soon, so we're going to head over to the other scene. This one. Ta-da! I'm gonna move... Oh, oops, sorry. I'm gonna move this one over to here. Yeah, I don't want to fix the chat. It's just gonna be like that. So, thank you for coming to the stream. I got to eat food, which is good. Like, if I didn't have a reason to wake up before 2, who knows if I would have just slept in longer. Like, I give myself this schedule to go on stream as an active responsibility to get up, turn on my computer, Open up the programs. Open up YouTube. Open up the streaming software. Open up this. Open up that. And get ready soon enough to the time I say, hey, I'm going to be streaming. And I want to get back into that regularity because then I can plan to get things done during that time. If you love coming to the streams, thank you. I hope that everybody who's here had a good time. I hope that people who are coming to watch the VOD after the stream are finding that streams like this are useful. If this isn't for you, you don't have to watch it, that's fine. But I'm really appreciative for anybody who comes and stops by the stream, even if it's for a little bit. And I will hopefully see you all tomorrow. I'm gonna say bye-bye. Thank you for coming to the stream. I always keep saying, oh, thank you for coming to the stream. It's so easy to say that, however, I feel like I should come up with something more substantial to say than that. But bye-bye. See ya later. And good night.